Welcome back. It's 3 o'clock. It's coffee hour for those of you who are at work or at home in your home office. It's been a long day. If you've been joining us each session, thank you guys so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in again. And we have something very special, very dear to share. Yeah. A good surprise, something we have been working on for a full year now, right? Yeah. It's been developing. Yep. And as you saw during this video, there was a group of children receiving letters and writing letters, and we just have such a cool story behind that.
It was so fun. So a year ago, we did a mission trip to Colombia, and before that trip, one of the trip leaders had a conversation with a teacher friend back here up in Massachusetts, and they knew that they were going down to the trip, and they had invited them to say, hey, what if we write some letters in our classroom and bring them down with you guys to Colombia and share those with the children down in Colombia? And we were able to do that, and what you just saw was the children in Colombia receiving those letters.
So we say, yes, go ahead, write the letters, we bring it. And so there were about 23 children, third graders from Massachusetts, and we brought those letters. So the teacher translated the letters to Spanish, and we brought them, and we gathered the children at Forma Vita who did not have sponsors yet.
Yes.
And we did this whole exercise. They were reading the letters. They were excited to hear what they had to say and the names. And then they started writing letters back. And so we took pictures of our children down there, and we made a video. And then on our way back, we were able to bring those letters back to the school here in Massachusetts.
So a few weeks after we got back from Colombia, we had the letters and the pictures that the kids drew, and we came in and did a presentation with the classroom, again, third graders, and got to share with them and ask them some questions about the experience. We delivered letters to them. They got to meet the child they were communicating with.
Well, let's check it out. We actually have a video clip of how that went.
Yes.
It was awesome. I loved it. It doesn't take a lot to be nice to someone, right? It doesn't take much to be generous. Generosity sometimes is not even about money. It would be time.
Translated, Lisa, thank you so much for doing that. And you have a picture of who received your letter.
I have a 14-year-old. This is what my guy looks like. This looks like a 17-year-old.
Yeah, the letter at my...
In Colombia.
I appreciate your work.
Okay.
I hope we can be friends in the future. Keep writing.
How about we come up with something and we all say it together? Would you guys like to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Would you like Spanish?
No.
Yes. Come on.
Yes. I wasn't sure if he already was doing his thing. We were very happy to be a part of this organization in our small way, and to have our kids connect with friends in Colombia and know that they were that they'll have an impact for students around the world.
Yeah, and I think it was really nice for our students to see how they can have a change in the world for a small act, and can go further and go really deep.
Now, what about you guys? How did this make you feel?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I was in tears in the classroom while you were presenting, so it is very emotional, it's very touching. I don't know, there's no words for that kind of love and that kind of kindness and compassion. I mean, it made me feel full to have you here visiting.
I agree. I think that it's really nice to introduce students to this, and it's just really nice that they can be a part of it and that we can be there with them.
And also nice to know that, you know, the message of generosity doesn't have to deal with money. It doesn't have to have anything to do with, with that type of thing. Just a kind word, a drawing, a letter, can have a positive impact.
That's so awesome. Just to hear Mr. Chico and Ms. Shay,
Yep.
just to talk about how that impacted these children. the best part of this whole thing was to hear and talk about how they were impacted just to write those letters. So we went around the classroom and asked them, what did they feel while doing this exercise? And you hear some saying, I was sad, I was this, I was that. And then one of the boys said, I was frustrated.
Yeah.
And I was just surprised by it.
Yeah.
And I asked him, well, tell me more. What did you mean? He said, well, I wish I could have done more. And in that moment, I felt something, and I know you guys did too, to help us realize connecting these children would make such a big difference between just knowing that they are helping another life, but with their community.
It was really interesting because some of the kids talked about this particular location. This is a brand new school for them too, so they were talking about how, I didn't want to talk about my school in my letter to the child because I wasn't sure what their situation was like, what their school was like. And so they were very empathetic of the situation that they were writing to for the children. And they're like, I didn't want to seem, they didn't use the word, but seem boastful, right? They wanted to be respectful of who they were talking to. And so to hear from third graders, how this made an impact in their life and how just that interaction made them think a little bit differently, outside of their town, outside of their day-to-day culture that they would normally be exposed to.
Empathetic, that's the word. Just to get themselves in somebody else's shoes and think what their life is about and how different theirs is here, right? The opportunity and the resources they have, and just to know that we can nurture empathy in an 8-year-old in a classroom, a third grader. It's just, it gives us this great idea of creating as part of Mission Life to connect children here in schools, whether it's homeschool or just elementary, middle school, a service learning project. What a service learning project is, creating a curriculum, providing teachers, providing school a way to create that social work, that community type of work where children will be communicating with the kids in one classroom, sponsoring a child. Right. So for that, we just decided, okay, what can we do in order to create such programs? So in a regular basis, they can be sending letters, they can be communicating through our video tool.
Because the expression from the teachers was like, how can we do this, do more of this? Basis. How can we do this regular? How can we integrate this into our classroom for the year for those students? And that's kind of where this was born, is us thinking about, okay, there's something here that is bigger than just a PenPal program.
Great opportunity. Yeah. So what we created is a way for them to, within a classroom, sponsor one child together, right? Raising money through a product that will generate the funds to give that child the sponsorship for the full year. And that way, we as the organization will come in and provide the means to communicate the curriculum, to guide the learning part of, to support the teacher in the school, and how to include this transformational values.
Yeah, and that classroom will be able to communicate with them on a regular basis, send messages back and forth to that child for the year. And if they choose to, that teacher can work with the next class the following year and re-sponsor the child and keep that going. So she can integrate this program into what she does for her curriculum, here she does for her classroom, and it's amazing.
And if you want to take a guess of what's the product we're going to give the children to raise funds, a little bit of some coffee.
Oh, maybe some coffee, yeah.
So we're gonna bring Colombian coffee to these classrooms and have them just bring it home and sell it to their neighbors and create the funds to sponsor that child. And through that, they not only are going to receive such a benefit of learning about a different culture, learn about whatever the class is going to be, but at the same time, knowing they're doing something to help change the life of a child and just see the ripple effect, the impact in their lives as they just go through a full year of this type of communication. So,
so we've established a partnership. We're working on the details. We have exciting news to bring to you as the coming months come here, as things unfold. But to be able to have a coffee product that is of all the right values and qualities that we would like to have as part of here, but then at the same point, have that as a tool to bring these values, this story about Mission Life and what it's doing back to the home so they can tell their parents about it, and then invite them to share the opportunity to buy a bag of coffee to help support this program for the children in their classroom as well.
Branded in a way that when the parent, when the neighbor, the family member receives that bag and provides the child with the funds to sponsor the kid in Colombia and Rwanda, they will grab that coffee. Number one, something with quality, something that people are going to enjoy, but at the same time, reading what a packaging is going to say as you are actually changing the life of a child when you buy this coffee. And all the proceeds are going to go towards that project. So we're very, very, very excited to announce that. And we might be looking at end of summer next year. I mean, still some time to work on final details and launching the pilot and so on. But I couldn't wait to share this.
Yeah, and we were just invited back from those teachers. They communicated with us recently, mentioning us that they want to bring this program back. They, with everything going on and being disconnected in some cases for classrooms and not being able to go to school for some kids, especially last spring, and if they go back remote again, having this ability to reconnect and have something fun for the kids to do, to be collaborating and being able to communicate and feel like they're connected once again is so important. So.
Given a similar experience as a sponsor will have with their child, writing back and forth, receiving the video messages, and we actually had an opportunity to do a similar activity with sixth graders at a school here in New Hampshire in Dunbarton. Unfortunately, COVID hit and we weren't able to go and present similar to the third graders, but we were able to send this information and heard the stories of how that impacted them. So we know it works. We know it's going to make a huge difference. And I actually still have a pack of letters from the youth group of Manchester Christian Church. They wrote to the children in Colombia, and we were going to deliver this year on one of our trips, but we weren't able to do so. So that's still pending too. So it's exciting to see these kids, these young, these teenagers just ready to help, ready to embrace that relationship. And I feel that's just going to make such a big difference, and not just in their lives, but in the future generations and in our community.
It truly broadens someone's perspective and ability to have empathy for somebody else outside of what they would normally experience. And so this is an amazing program here that we're developing. We're so excited. We'd love for you guys to partner with us on this as well.
It's all about the empathy. It's all about helping these children a new culture of good values so that we can transform our communities, our culture in general, and who knows?
And we're going to share with you guys the transformation of values that are integrated into the programs at our centers at the 4 o'clock segment coming up after this, and a new program coming out to our centers that we're developing as well, which is really exciting. So we won't spill the details on that, but check out this video. We'll be back with you guys at 4 o'clock, talk about the programs at our local centers.